Hey guys, it's me Candy. Just here with another story for ya. I mean what I say and I say what I mean. Today's today's gonna be about my homegirl Nikki. We've been friends for a really long time. I think that picture was made in like 2018. If I saw the photo gallery correct. But anyways, we've known each other for a really long time. I told you in another video, I met her through Sonia and Nikki. They were like a couple when they first met, Sonia and Nikki. They were a couple and then they would break up. Till this day, they sometimes feel like they're in love with each other. Sometimes Sonia feels like she's in love with Nikki. Sometimes Nikki feels like she's in love with Sonia. They just don't happen to do it like at the same time for some reason. But anyway, Sonia's with another girl, and Nikki's doing her own other thing down here. They live their own lives for a long time now. Yeah, it's about Nikki. We went to Vegas together one time. I've been to Vegas a couple of times, but the first time I went was because of my best friend George. I worked at Central Tax for a while doing income taxes, and he was my bestie, and when he would get seminars for us to learn more, and when they were in Vegas, he would always book it in Vegas. That way, you know, like the cost was less and everything, you know what I mean? So doing the whole business trip thing. So he would take some of us and go out there and have a good time, among other things. We went out there. I took Nikki. It was we got to go to the the club. We went to the Playboy Bunny Club. We went to the Coyote Ugly. I think the one where you dance on the tables. We went to that little bar. It was really, well, not little, but it was nice. It was really nice. It was in the New York hotel, whatever that's in New York. Oh my god, the pizza was so good. And that one too, it was like really good. Like, I don't know if it was authentic or whatever, but it was delicious. But anyways, yeah, we went out there. It was fun. We had fun. We did our thing out there. It was really fun. She got sick for a couple of days drinking one of those big old Slurpees. You know what I mean? I remember I told her about it. I was like, that, you know, that's pure sugar. You know what I mean? It made her sick for like a day or two, and I said, hey girl, we got to go out. Like, you know what I mean? We're in Vegas. So, she's feeling a little bad. You know what I mean? I lent her some of my clothes. I've always had a lot of clothes, a lot of makeup, a lot of stuff like that. So I lent her some clothes, you know what I mean? Because we're both big in the top size. So it was one of those that tied up. So it didn't matter if she was like thicker or smaller than me, whatever, what have you. She would tie it up right here, and we're both real big, so it looked real nice. So, you know, I'm here tying her up, doing our thing. We're doing our makeup, blase. We both take a last minute in the mirror. I don't know how quick she looks. She uses glasses, so I mean, maybe she can't see well. I know that, but like, anyway, so we got dressed. We're gonna go out and have fun. You know what I mean? I think it was like 1 o'clock, because over there in Vegas, you can go out at like 7 in the morning and have fun. You know what I mean? It was just like that there. We stayed there for a whole week. It was really nice. George got up, paid for breakfast, paid for everything practically, so we just had to take our money to go out. But like, you know, us being females, we just went out, and I like went online and said I was going to Vegas before. I went like a whole month before I put that I lived in Vegas. I met like a lot of guys and girls out there to go out and have fun. So when I went out there, I had somebody to go out with every night and, you know, buy drinks and buy me a purse, a Coach purse, and all this stuff. But you know what I mean? It was fun. It was really fun event. So anyways, we went out that night though. It was hard to get her out because she was sick. So it was going out. We're staying on the strip. You know what I mean? We're on the strip in one of those rooms in the strip. So we have to come down. It takes us, I'm not even gonna lie, like 10-15 minutes just to get out the motel, because it's one of those where you have to, like, you know, maze down to the casino, go to the casino, go to the restaurants, all the way out to the entrance, to get to the entrance. So we leave out. Before we even leave out, they said they're Russian, good looking Russians. They stopped us and they're like, hey, before we even like left the entrance, we're about to leave, walk out, And they're like, hey, what's up? Like, y'all want to go to the room and smoke? And I look at Nikki and I'm like, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, let's go. So we went to their room. We're smoking. It's fun. We're chilling. They opened the closet or something, and I'm taking pictures. Like, you know, like we're in Vegas. We're in Vegas. We got to meet like people from a lot of different places. You know what I mean? But these guys were like on the cool. I'm not gonna lie. They're like extra sexy. They're really sexy. They're Russians. They're real hard, real cute, real sexy. Anyways, I did the little shot like me and Nikki. I'm like, come on, Nikki, with one of them, boop, boop. You know what I mean? And then the other one was standing by the closet. So I did this little thing where I did myself, like throwing myself in the little shot with him, like, boop, boop. You know what I mean? And all of a sudden, like, everything switched up and changed. It wasn't like, ha ha, kiki no more. You know what I mean? So we started smoking, and it was just quiet, right? And I was like, man, it got quiet. You know what I mean? I was like, you know what? Thanks, but we're gonna head out. You know what I mean? Like, we're just about to like hit the, you know what I mean? Hit it. Like, we're about to hit the clubs. Like, cool though. We'll come back afterwards. Like, after we drink and everything, we'll come back and chill with you, maybe. You know what I mean? You never know. And Nikki was all for it. You know what I mean? Because they're hot, but they were like, hold on, right? And one of them stood at the door, and I'm like, what the fuck? And I'm just trying to chill, because one thing I've always done is try to be in mad chill mode. You know what I mean? I don't try to rock the boat, especially when I check out my surroundings and I'm not too familiar with them. You just, you gotta stay on chill mode until that moment comes where you know you gotta pop off, you know? So, we're just chilling, we're smoking, I'm passing it. He's like, let me see your phone, right? And he's like, I want to take a picture. And I was like, cool, like, you know what I mean? I ain't tripping, so I give him the phone. He starts erasing all the pictures, I guess of them. There was only like 4, but like, I guess he erased them, right? And I was like, why'd you do that? What's up? Why'd you do that? Like, that's weird. You know what I mean? I was like, we're gonna bounce. And he was like, yeah, you didn't see nothing, right? You didn't see nothing. And I'm like, what the hell is this nigga talking about? But what I think he's talking about is what was in the closet. That's what I think he's talking about. So I'm like, whatever, you know what I mean? I'm like, nah, man, we didn't see nothing. We about to go hit the club. Like, can we come back and chill with y'all? Like, afterwards? And then all of a sudden, he was like, I was like, maybe we'll spend the night. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I want to chill with y'all. Like, for real, for real. I'm just going to go get, like, a couple free drinks and come back. Unless y'all want to go drinking. Do y'all want to go drinking? And they're like, nah, we got to do something. But, yeah, y'all come back. You know, we slid out of there real slowly and chill, like, you know what I mean? Hugged everybody. Nikki wanted to take another picture, and they're like, no, no, no. And I was like, nah, bitch, like, just, fuck, you know what I mean? We're not going to be able to get their asses on the picture. It's cool. Memories are the best thing anyways, you know what I mean? So I was like, it's cool. So we crept out of there, you know what I mean? And we was gone. We didn't go back in there, you know what I mean? We didn't go back at night. But, like, well, I didn't want to. So we left, you know what I mean? She went to the restroom, came out. I hadn't noticed nothing. I swear I hadn't noticed nothing like weird or anything, because the whole time, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not looking at Nikki. Like, I'm not looking at Nikki. I'm looking at the guys. I'm like looking at the Vegas. Like, you know what I mean? Things kind of got weird. Nikki's sitting over here, and she sits kind of like this, so the table's like covering everything. So I didn't really see nothing at this point. What I'm about to get to. So we walking, we finally make it to the exit again, the entrance again. We about to roll out. We start walking, like, you know what I mean, strutting our little stuff. You know, we like, we in Vegas, we in Vegas. Nikki had this fly ass phone where she would like pop it out and take a picture, and people be like, man, I want one of those. I don't know. It was like the next, you know what I mean? She got like the cool phone. Oh, yeah, she got the cool phone, and we got drunk, and she slept on that phone some type of way. It messed up. Like, it wasn't good no more. Like, she slept on it some type of way to where it got stuck, and it was basically messed up. And it was like one of those new phones, like really, really good phone. She got drunk and slept on it that night. That's what happened there, too. That was funny. But anyways, that's funny to me. Anyway, so we start walking down the strip, right? Some women looking at Nikki and being like, man, gross. I think one lady even said disgusting. I'm like, girl, it's cleavage. Like, some of us got it, some of us don't. Some of it's a little bigger, some of it's way bigger, and some of it's a little smaller. But it's cleavage, you know what I mean? It's like, calm down, white girl. I mean, sorry. Calm down, girl. So anyway, so we go over there, we walk in. I say, you know what, girl, we need to get something to eat before we start drinking. Let's get us a little, like, it was like a little Burger King in the next club, in the next motel, I mean. Because you know how it's a motel, casino, restaurants, and all that. Some of it's even the shopping malls and stuff like that, you know what I mean? So anyways, we walk in, it's a Burger King. You can see the sign, and I'm like, hey, let's go get us like a cheap little burger and fries, you know what I mean? So we don't have to pay too much, get a little cheap burger, little fries, and we'll go hit the club, you know what I mean? So we walk in, some guy's like, hey, like real quick to Nikki, like, what's up? Like, damn, you know what I mean? And he's like, what are y'all doing? And we're like, oh, we're about to get a bite to eat, you know what I mean, before we hit the club and start drinking. And he was like, I'll buy it for y'all. I'll buy you something to eat. Like, you're going to Burger King? Yeah, I'll get it. Like, I ain't tripping, you know what I mean? So I was like, cool, you know what I mean? We went, we got our little burgers, we just chilling, you know what I mean? We eating, whatever, Nikki's sitting across from me, I'm sitting like this, and the guy's sitting right across from Nikki, and I'm sitting across from Nikki too, but you know what I mean? So I'm eating my burger, I turn around, and I go get me my little drink, and refill it. I remember that, I refilled it, I'm eating, I sat down, I just see the guy, like, staring at Nikki, like, swear, like, and I'm like, damn, this fool likes him some tatas. He likes him some cupcakes. You know what I mean? Because me and Nikki both got big cupcakes. But Nikki's are bigger. I ain't mad. They are bigger. So, I'm like, dang, right? And I start smiling. And I'm like, oh, shit, you know what I mean? Like, Nikki's got her thing, right? I turn around. And I finally look at Nikki, like, and I'm like, hey, Nikki, I was like, Nikki's got a boy, right? And then I look, before I said boyfriend, I look. And she's finally, like, stepped back like this. Because, I don't know, Nikki kind of sits like a little slouch, tiny slouch, you know what I mean? So, like, if there's a table there, it covers you a certain amount, you know what I mean? But she was finally sitting like this. And, well, like I said, we're, you know, nice big cupcakes. I all of a sudden saw what everybody was seeing. It's a tie-up, right? And I don't know what happened. I don't know if she went like this to try to fix it because it was probably like tight, you know, because it is my shirt. It's a little smaller. But she accidentally took one out on one side. Like, just all of it was out. Just the whole cupcake. And when I say it's a big cupcake, it's a big cupcake. You know what I mean? So the whole cupcake on this side is out. And that's why the girls were like, damn, like, you're doing too much. You know what I mean? You don't have to be. But I'm not gonna lie, in Vegas, people are like totally undressed, walking down the strip, offering to take pictures with them because their body's tight and fly. You know what I mean? So it's not nothing crazy. I'm not saying that. But for us, you know what I mean? And then after that, I was all like, oh shit, it's Nipple Nikki. You know what I mean? Nipple Nikki's in town. And I told George, and we just clowned about it since then, you know what I mean? But I was like, your whole cupcake's out, you know what I mean? And the guy's like, yeah. I like y'all's outfits. So you know what I mean? Nikki, like, of course she fixes it or whatever, you know what I mean? We're like, blah, 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 like, you know what I mean? Bloop. Plickety plow, plickety plow. You know what I mean? She puts it back up, and we laughing and talking, and you know what I mean? Laughing about it or whatever, you know what I mean? But ever since then, I'll always say like, hey, you know what I mean? It's Nipple Nikki, you know what I mean? Out from Vegas, premiere, you know what I mean? But, yeah, that one's about my bestie, Nikki. She didn't know she was going down the strip with it all out, eating Burger King, chilling, chit-chatting with the guy, trying to get her Mac on, you know what I mean? The whole time she didn't even need to do nothing but sit there because her whole cupcake was out. He was ready and willing. I remember when we first got there too, there was some guy who just automatically went up to Nikki. She wasn't used to all that attention, but I remember he just like automatically was like, what's up? You know what I mean? Can I meet you later? Like, I just remember we had a really good time out there. Anyways, yeah, that's the story about Nipple Nikki. Coming out. I hope y'all like the story, guys. Bye.